Hi guys, it's Katie. I know this looks a little weird, but I don't have my lighting stuff with me right now, and this is just a really quick review, so I wanted to do it real quick while it's fresh in my mind. I just saw Power Rangers. It was amazing. Before I get into spoilers and everything, for those of you who have not seen it, this is a spoiler review. However, I will say that you should go see it, especially if you love Power Rangers. I know it looks like it's not going to be all that great, but take it with a grain of salt. It's not our original show, but it is still awesome, so I would definitely go see it. It's one to check out to make a decision for yourself. And without further ado, here's my review. Spoilers. I loved the battles. I thought that they were amazing. All of the, everything was just amped up to another level. It was explosions and everything was done on such a huge scale. You could feel the size of the Zord and the size of Goldar. Just, they were huge. There's one part where they rise up out of the ground. They just kept going. And you just thought, wow, they are just huge. And you still got that sense from the original, but not like this. It was just amazing. Like my jaw dropped. It was so awesome. Rita was amazing. She is a great villain. Elizabeth Banks does a fantastic job. I believed it. They were in serious trouble every time she was on the screen. The development in the movie was really well done. You got the sense that these were normal kids and they just kind of progressed and slowly got to know each other. However, I didn't like how they were training together and starting to get to know each other and everything was great, and then they had the campfire and were like, we should start to understand each other and learn more about each other. I mean, a lot of the a lot of the lessons, I sat there watching them try to morph like it is obvious what you need to do. How is this not obvious to you? You need to not think about yourselves and think about each other. And that's what they kept saying, but they're like, we don't know anything about each other. So let's waste all of our days not figuring out anything about each other and just training. It's like that was a big flaw in my opinion. They took their time with this film and they allowed the characters to develop slowly. They allowed it to take its time. They spent more time on the characters rather than on the fighting, which was kind of nice. The original did that as well. But they kind of mixed together the two. So gradually through the series, you got to know a little bit more about each character. But you still had fights in between everything. It wasn't as action-packed, but I'm happy that they didn't just focus on the action. From the beginning, you thought they were just going to morph and start kicking butt, but they didn't. They couldn't morph at first, and so you had more time to help them develop who they were and try to learn who they were. I loved how the film started with the whole idea that these were aliens and that they were the original Rangers and they actually died. I was shocked. I mean, I know people died in, not necessarily in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, but in other Power Rangers series. But this seemed just on such a much grander scale. Like, the whole world was covered in ash and Zordon is fighting for his life. I mean, that was just fantastic. It was so good. And, you just got, like I said with the Zords, you just get this sense of scale. You get this huge thing. Like during the Zord battle, buildings are being torn apart and Angel Grove is being ripped to shreds. You just get this sense that these two colossal things are fighting it out. And in the original, you did get that sense, but at the same time, you knew that those buildings weren't real. Here, these buildings are real. You get this, it's so much bigger. It's so huge. I think the actors and the characters themselves did okay. They were good. There were some moments that I really liked and I really enjoyed, and you could feel definitely by the end that they had this actual bond and they believed what they were doing. You got this sense of brotherhood and strength, and I really liked that. I always liked that about the original, and I'm glad that they put that in here. However, The fact that they start out as delinquent kids, I knew it was going to bother me when I saw the trailer, that they were misfits. They were kind of sort of the rotten kids. It wasn't supposed to be that way. They were just kind of misunderstood. They were good kids that bad things had happened to. You still got that sense. You still got the sense that they were good kids. They were smart kids who just made bad decisions. I still wasn't crazy about that idea. The other thing I didn't like was some of the music, unfortunately. I was okay with the hands clap song during the montage. I thought it was actually kind of catchy, and you were kind of like, yeah, okay. And I was okay with most of it. The Stand By Me, really distracting. If you wanted to play some music in the background, play some music in the background, but don't have a pop song in the background. You're carrying your dead friend. Yeah, it's an emotionally sad song, but you don't sing it. Just don't sing it. Just play music. I mean, it's very, very distracting. Another distracting thing that a lot of films have been doing lately, and it drives me absolutely crazy, this is kind of a side note, but it counts, t-shirts. T-shirts are very, very distracting. If you see a character with a rainbow shirt and a smiley face, sobbing their eyes out, it's sending mixed messages. And yeah, I get that you want them to have been wearing what they were wearing that day and then have something happen to them, which is normal and which is what happens. I mean, if, God forbid, something happened to me, I'd be wearing this shirt. There's no changing before, life throws a curveball at you. But in the sense of a movie where you can control these things, change it. Because you can give them a shirt, give them a random shirt. Give them an Angel Grove shirt. I don't care. Just not a shirt that says, I don't remember what his shirt said. I think it said cash only. So I'm sitting there reading the shirt while Zordon is telling them, what to do. And Billy is lying dead there on the floor. It's very distracting. Kimberly's shirt had words on it too. There were some moments where the original show was peeking out a little bit, and you could see it. Like when all of the Zords are running and, you hear the music in the background. I was upset that it wasn't as loud as it could have been. Like, they are running to defeat the ultimate bad guy. I mean, come on. The cursing. I was so surprised. I mean, I saw that it was rated PG-13, and I thought they had to do that because of the action and stuff, but nope, they were cursing, and some of the content was not appropriate for children. And if you're remaking a Power Rangers movie, Power Rangers is for kids. I understand that we're watching it now and we're grown up, so we need to, you need to be able to market to us as well. But at the same time, you can do that and still make a kids movie. Look at the Lego Batman movie. Batman is timeless. There are people who have watched it since the 60s and have grown up with it. So you can put a character like Batman in a scene and have something be for both kids and adults. You can have a bit of a mix. Here, it seemed more like this was for adults. This was meant to be a wholesome, good show for kids that, still had a bit of violence in it. And not gonna lie, my mom wasn't too happy about, me and my brother watching it as kids and fighting. But, we knew it was all pretend. Was it too distracting that I didn't enjoy the movie? No. No, I actually enjoyed it a lot. I thought that a lot of the scenes were really good and really well done. Some parts, not so much. As I've mentioned, some of the scenes were a little off. Like the whole Krispy Kreme thing. Too comical. I think that was just way, way too comical. I mean, there's a time and a place, and I get that you were trying to throw a joke in there, but, you think back to all of the moments in the show, like the thing I am searching for is on a pedestal, in this dungeon, in this big important place, and this is this whole mission, the fate of the world and everything. You don't expect it to be in a Krispy Kreme. It was funny, but it was kind of like, what the hell are you doing kind of funny. I was at least happy that they did not poke fun at it, as some remakes do end up doing. I mean, even Power Rangers, When they got to series like Ninja Storm, they did poke fun at it and say, like, what were the Power Rangers? This is, really stupid. Or, well, we have to say it's Morphin time? That's ridiculous. I was waiting for that, and they thankfully did not do that. So I am grateful for that. All in all, I thought it was a good movie, and I do recommend it to people. It was too nostalgic to pass up. It may not be the same as our shows, and it never will be. Is it better? No. No, I don't think so. They're they're almost too different. The original was campy and ridiculous and at the same time heartfelt and sincere. It was like I said, like Batman from the 60s. It was clearly trying to do something that was for kids, but it knew when to be serious and it knew when to take itself seriously. This movie just made me realize how much I love the original and made me feel that, it's still there. It took me back to where I was when I was watching the original. I kind of teared up a little bit when, the Megazord formed and everything. It was amazing. That's all for now. If you liked it, please like and subscribe. Leave a comment in the comments section, and I would love to discuss Power Rangers with you and share any stories that you could think of from the old show, something that you liked about the new show. Again, I'm sorry for this sort of crummy setup. This was kind of a last minute sort of thrown together video, so I hope you enjoy it, and I will see you guys next time. Take care.